And of course, today, Information Minister Shirley Matthew.
Thank you, Ashton, and thanks to the management and staff of Equatorial Latitude and Broadcasting Operation. We are the 10 members of the press, radio listeners, television viewers. Wherever you are, we like to encourage you to join us on the official Facebook page of the Ministry of Information and also LMTV live on television at your home. This afternoon, I'd like to bring on the national podium the Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs, who will officially introduce to you the Chief Spokesperson of the government, who will brief you on progress made by the government. Minister Sando, the national platform. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to members of the press and those who are following via your social media feeds and the radio station as well. We are grateful to be back here in our official capacity to present to the public a government weekly press briefing. We continue to be very appreciative to members of the press for your continuous presence here, even those who are not assigned here. I see a lot of journalists, media practitioners creating or developing interest in following the Ministry of Information regular press briefing. It's a good thing that interest is being developed by the DA, because it points to the fact that interest is being developed in what we do here. We have consistently said that when the press conference starts, movement across the aisle will not be condoned. And I see a lot of you at back, they're not giving me your attention. We just have to work together as well. I need your attention, you need us to be here. So when you come to cover the press conference, just give our attention. Every other thing can wait for the next 1 or 2 hours we'll be here for. Yes, what I was saying, it is good that a good number of media practitioners have taken interest in the ministry's press briefing. I see the numbers here increasing on a daily basis, which is good for us. We will continue to work to create an enabling environment for every member of the press, every media institution to freely exercise that journalistic responsibility. At today's press briefing, we have just Minister Pia, who will be speaking to the nation, addressing the press on a number of issues. And those issues are issues that were deemed, as the communication entity of the government deemed responsible, very important to speak to. The minister will speak to these issues, and the Workers' Union will make a brief remark after the minister's speech, and then we will entertain questions from the press as always. Again, I want you to please give the podium your own divided attention as I now invite Minister Jeremic Mafia to the podium. Thank you for your attention. I'd like to welcome in a special way the President and other officials of the Ministry of Information Workers Union who chose to grace the press conference today. And without wanting to waste your time, as you all may be aware, tomorrow marks 69th anniversary of the Armed Forces of Liberia, tomorrow being February 11th, and the Ministry of National Defense, along with the High Command of the Armed Forces of Liberia, they've been undertaking different activities. They've held religious ceremonies, both for members of the Islamic and Christian faith. They've been rendering some community services to include venturing into the much talked about Relay district, where they undertook a massive cleanup campaign, reinforcing their role as a force for good. Their celebration this year is held, or is being held, under the theme Securing Liberia Together, Strengthening Interagency Cooperation Against Drugs Trafficking and Smuggling, Security Threat, Emerging Security Threat, at that program tomorrow, the Chief of Defense Staff of the Nigerian Armed Forces will be the keynote speaker, and there will be other high-level military and non-military special guests who will attend, and the program will be held at the Barclay Training Center. Meanwhile, the ministry, in partnership with UN Women, has officially launched the LC Initiative Fund project, purposely meant to boost female recruitment in the armed forces of Liberia. The Deputy Minister for Operations was here at the last press conference and announced that recruitment is ongoing, but they're being targeted and intentional to encourage females to be recruited in the armed forces. So the initiative aims to strengthen women's active participation in peace and security, including deployment to peacekeeping missions across the globe. We want to give you some detailed updates which were just produced by the Ministry of Public Works on roadworks in the country, to include things that were being done in the past years and months, things that they are concluding, and new initiatives that they will target based on donor support in the 2026 national budget. And I want to start with just trying to summarize the media engagement the minister had earlier before going into the written update that he provided us today. One of the things that can happen with road work all over the world, whether in America, in Europe, in Africa, is as the roads are being used, there will be defects. Those defects can result to different scenarios, potholes, etc., etc. That is the reason why there must always be a strategic road maintenance plan. It is for one of such reasons that we have the National Road Fund that raises money that we should spend back on making sure the roads are always in good condition. Those who live in places like America, after the winter, right now it's winter period, so you have snow falling, snow all over the road. Once that winter period ends, there can be a lot of damages on the road. But the reason why you don't see those challenges on roads is that as soon as the winter ends, they move on to repair those roads. We may not have the same climatic situation, but we are using the road, and there will be wear and tears taking place, and that's why we must always, all of the times, maintain our roads. So there have been challenges in different parts of our different roads, whether it's in Monrovia city streets, or in places on the outskirts of the capital. The roads have had issues. Of course, you know the rains have been coming on a very serious note. We joke here one time, what I said 1 minute ago, Toby, a lot of people are not beginning to do for the rain to keep coming to undermine development work. But of course, we know it's just climate change is having impact all across the world. So now that it's giving some change, you see the elevation of roadworks, you see repairs taking place all over where there are damaged streets, in addition to the fact that our major road construction works are all ongoing. So whether it's in the Painesville area, they're repairing damaged spots on the road and working on the drainages. Most of our people are so not responsible enough. There are some who intentionally dump garbage in the drainage system, which can sometimes enhance flooding and all of that. So they've been focusing on cleaning the drainage as they're doing the repair work on damaged road in the Painesville, whether it's Dupo Road, whether it's around the Lees Road or Park of Pin area, whether it's SKD Boulevard, whether it's Zubatown, Tabi, Lapazi, Gogotown Back Road, just everywhere where they know that there's some issue with the road, they're doing repairs right now in those places. They're making intervention in the whole road area, Gay Town and other parts. And they are hopeful that before the advent of the actual rainy season, all these situations will be fully addressed. As you may know, the bridge work is going on. Fiamma, Rototown area, Galatown, Central Monrovia, all these places is being interspersed with, especially in alleyways, with demolition, where places are in the alleyway. Of course, there are a lot of innovation taking place that have no direct involvement of government. Private citizens who have disputes on land issues are going to court. The court is making a decision, and the court's decisions are being executed. That is a different scenario altogether compared to where somebody has built on a public land owned by the government or in an alleyway, or like the situation with the 72nd barracks. So that's part of the challenge you have when you have technicians who don't take instruction. Yeah, once there is power outage and LEC is not available, they're being told. Every other office, including my office, is not a priority. Call it up and focus all the attention on ensuring that the current is not fluctuating in the conference room. But they will keep all the places on. You go in my office now, even though I'm not there, they still get air conditioning on there for no reason. It just suggests that you don't take your work serious and you know why you're supposed to be on the time. So all of these things are taking place. I just wanted to go through the update that has been given to me by the Ministry of Public Works, having run through some of the other interventions we've been doing. So they are working on a number of primary roads that are being paved, asphalt pavement. We call it quota. There's a situation one political leader was referring to when he said they would like quota. I'm not sure whether he's correct, but that's why he says that he wants to be president. So now quota road works are taking place. Among them is the Vanguard to Saye Road, which is about 81 kilometers long. And the progress on that road, which is ongoing as we speak, stands at 93%. The road itself, like I said, the whole stretch is 81 kilometers. And the amount of the road paved out of the 81 kilometers is at 93%, 70 kilometers out of 81 kilometers. The work has since commenced, and the target is to pave all 81 kilometers in Konya to Vonjima. So Saye to Konya is around 50 kilometers. And then from Konya to Vonjima is 64 kilometers. And the entire stretch will be 114 kilometers. It's been funded by Arab donors and the government. So work on the Saye to Konya end, which is 50 kilometers, is commencing the current dry season, while the financial they have in principle agreed to finance the remaining section from Konya to Vonjima. So work is expected to continue until the rains comes at a time when we can continue the pavement. Then Vonjima to Mendekoma is around 80 kilometers. The ALDB, the government, and Peoplefort are the three groups that will fund the corridor is expected to actually commence by 2027. Ganta to Sonic Quarry to Yekipa, you know that Ganta to Sonic Quarry is paved. So that whole stretch is around 67 kilometers. And what remains is Sonic Quarry to Loga 2, which is the border town that leads into Cote d'Ivoire, is around 47.1 kilometers. The African Development Bank, the ERB, and the GOL have all been financing that stretch of the road. The total physical progress on that road is around 85%, with about 43% of that progress paid. 43 kilometers out of the 47.1 kilometer is paved. So if you take 43 from 47, you know that the road is almost being concluded, and that progress is put at 85%. And as we speak, work has recommenced after a long period of suspension due to the ERB not disbursing financing to the project, which stalled the project with regard to physical work. However, the funding arrangement will be being through 2026 budget support is also on the way, and like I said earlier, the work has recommenced. So the pavement is continuing. From Ganta to Settle Pier is 39 kilometers, and the total progress on our route is around 56%, which means 26.5 kilometers of pavement has taken place, and active work with regard to pavement has also recommenced. Then from Sector Pier to Tapeta is around 61 kilometers, but the total pavement that has taken place on that route is around 93%, which amounts to around 40 kilometers, and actual work on that corridor are commenced. Total time So the Board of Ivory Coast is in Grandia County. The procurement is finalized and work is also expected to commence. Then from Kelly Port to Fishtown in River G, physical progress on that road is around 85.16%, which means 20 kilometers of that stretch is paved with banding course, and active work has been suspended. However, work will recommence with support from the 2026 budget and if additional funding arrive as is expected from the African Development Bank. Barclayville to Southtown is in Grand Crew, and the procurement process has been finalized. Actual civil works are expected to commence before this dry season expires. For the coastal corridor, which should run from Grand Bassa County, Ghana to Sesta Junction, up to Greenville, that entire stretch is around 239.2 kilometers. It covers Grand Bassa, River Cess, and Samuel County. The African Development Bank and the government of Liberia are the funding sources. And financing discussions are underway with the African Development Bank. And detailed design are currently ongoing by the government of Liberia. That aspect is a major precondition for the African Development Bank's post approval to finance the Ghana to Sesta Junction component of the road. So it's been done to meet that serious. Before you can say something. So from Gabriel Tucker Bridge to Freeport, a road that has been talked about a good while. The detailed feasibility study and engineering design was done and completed, submitted to the Japanese. The Japanese started their procurement process because of road funded by them. The government of Liberia only role was to do that feasibility and give them the report, but they do their own procurement process with their money. They've commenced that procurement process. They will choose the company to do the work. That company will be a Japanese company, and the road work is expected to start later this year, in the first quarter hopefully, and it's a full-length road that will end at the Freeport. That is the reason why the government of Liberia has been paving, and that work is ongoing from Freeport to St. Paul Bridge, the same full lane so that it commensurates with what the Japanese will do. Liberia Bridge to Freeport is around 1.9 kilometers. Like I said, all the processes are being completed, procurement has been finalized. Then Freeport to St. Paul Bridge is 6.5 kilometers. Active work is ongoing. They're developing the drainages, they open the different layers, and they are expected to do the full asphalt pavement of that road before the actual rain comes. Those of you who are media people, you can stop by, take a tour there, and you see exactly what we're talking about. And then St. Paul Bridge to Clay, which is 38 kilometers from Clay to Waterside, 79 kilometers, and Clay to Tottenham, 22 kilometers. All that stretch are part of the concession that was ratified by the legislature under the 504 concession, and they will have the entire corridor paved with St. Paul Bridge to Waterside in 4 lanes. From St. Paul Bridge to Clay in 4 lanes, and from Clay to Tottenham in 2 lanes. So just a summary of some of the primary roads that they are undertaking. We try to display it here from Karoket to Fishtown. Is around 80 kilometers, is African Development Bank sponsored. Then from Ghana to Sankore, 37 kilometers, the government of Liberia and National Military. Banga to Salaye is a 1.0 kilometer. It's been the responding sources and Babia, Kuwait, Ofed, etc. Then Coca-Cola factory to East Liberia Junction, 6.7 kilometers. For some rehabilitation is the World Bank. And sorry, the number is, so I want to follow the number sequence. I don't want to jump from place to place. Then you have the San Corridor to local tool. It's 49.1 kilometers. It's the ERB, the EU, and the African Development Bank. Then here there is a junction to RRA. That whole stretch is 45 kilometers. It's been undertaken by the government of Liberia single-handedly. Then Ghana to Secretary is 39 kilometers. GOL funded, though it's a loan, but consider it GOL funded because we have to pay back. That's lot 1. And Fishtown to Kelipo, 20 kilometers, is the African Development Bank. Secretary to Tabeta is 61 kilometers, is the World Bank, and that's lot 2 of that corridor. Town to Swedru is 35 kilometers, is the World Bank, under the RETRAP program. John David Town to Swedru is 48.5 kilometers, is the African Development Bank and OPEC. Biography to Sastan is EDID, and the Indian SM Bank is 96 kilometers. The current work that has started is capturing or focusing on the first 50 kilometers of that road. Tabeta to Toolstown is 40 kilometers, is the World Bank RETRAP program. And Putuken to John David Town is 61.5 kilometers, and is the African Development Bank. Of course, ministerial complex to TrueLiberia is the interchange sponsored by the People's Republic of China, and that work is ongoing. Other key ongoing road projects: the pavement of the city streets in Foya, the ministerial complex bypass from Peace Island to Paco Island to SKB Boulevard, the new Georgia Estate Road, the Jab Tolutan Road in Breville, asphalt replacement in central Monrovia and other parts of Monrovia and its environment, community gravel road improvement projects taking place across almost all gravel roads, construction of the Grand Bassa County Community College Bridge, construction of the Sestor River Bridge, construction of the Paiwele Bridge in Bon County and Bakuru, construction of the Clay Ashland Bridge in Montserrat County. These are all key ongoing road projects that are taking place. All road projects that are expected to commence this dry season before it ends will include intervention work on some unpaved streets in Singapore, accounted for in our budget, paving of some alleys that are being opened, mainly on the old road, and this tells me that those who are concerned now that the demolition has taken place in Roto Town, the place might be left abandoned because they were useless. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Public Works, has plans to ensure that that street that is being created there is paved, critical spots repaired, which also be taking place on the redlet to Banga and then counter to Invola Road. The sidewalks of the Buchanan City Street will be built, and the rehabilitation of the St. John River Bridge, which is the key bridge on the highway that leads to Buchanan, will also commence this period. All road projects to be executed under the current budget provision, some of them were named already, like the St. Paul
bridge to Old Waterside is around 26 million. The National Road Fund will be financing the road up to 28.82 million. And in key economic corridors, urban roads and city street rehabilitation, significant investment in secondary city will include Ikano, 2.5 million, Bokolu, 2.2 million, Bagreville, 2 million, Baga, 1.7 million, Harper, Greenville, Swedwick, Fishtown, etc. will each see expenditure up to 300,000 each in internal city roads which will be built, and the implication is we want to support decentralization and urban mobility improvement nationwide. Other roads that I intend to also focus on based on the current 2026 national budget will include the renovation of Omega Market. That will cost around 700,000. Of course, the Freeport to St. Paul Bridge, I said, will spend 5.2 million. Community gravel road intervention will take 1.77 million. RIA road that is ongoing, the road fund will spend around 8 million. Market renovation meant for women empowerment will cost around 1 million. The Fana to Jeweltown road will see 250,000 being spent. The Sayuga pavement will see 250,000 spent. Construction of St. Paul Bridge of Waterside will say 26 million. Pliable road intervention with rail bridges 5 million, which I said earlier. Harper City Street, they want to do some work on it, estimated to around 1 million. Ikano City Street, doing some road work there will be 2.5 million. Bokolo City Street, around 2 million. Ganta City Street, 300,000. Sunny College Street, 200,000. Campus, 300,000. Secretariat, and the main streets within the city, like the main road that is already being paved, etc., etc. Fishtown, 1,150,000. That's Fishtown City and Carrican. Bawaway Community Road, 350,000. Gibi Road in Miami County, 500,000. Sokopa to Nemkirman Corridor in Nima, 150,000. The installation of additional solar lights by the Ministry of Public, these are intervention of the Ministry of Public Works, will take 100,000. Monserrato County around Duco Road Clinic will take 200,000. PSRP to the Bravos International Airport, of course, 5 million. Now, priority roads that we want to do, but we don't have money that require funding are as follows. Broadville to Bokolo is the road corridor that we believe should be paved. Now that you have a paved for that will pave all the way up to Bokolo side and talking about Bokolo City cannot be left out. It's a long stretch because it's around 85 kilometers. We are sourcing funding to ensure that it's paved from Battery Factory to Capitol Hill. I think it's a bad road that has been in the works for long. It's just 12 kilometers. You need money to work on it. Ikano to Sester to Greenville is 404 kilometers. We're sourcing funding for it. Swakoko to Patawi is 23 kilometers. We're sourcing funding for it. Kokoya to compound number 3 in Grand Bassa County is 360 kilometers. We're sourcing funding for it. From Zwell to Greensville is a completely different road events off leaving Fittown or River Key ahead is 185 kilometers. We're also trying to look for funding for it. And it's an important to take power looking for funding for that we say actually be charged that our road leads to the construction area will work with us in doing that. So while we're talking about all these roads and talking about looking for funding, then internationally people are still attracted to us. And so you know that representatives from the Saudi Fund are currently in the country and doing different reviews and assessment of our infrastructure work, our road work. Of course, they are focused on the Lofa Road where they want to assist in the expansion, but they want to add another component, which is to enhance the electricity along that route as well. They've been meeting the actors in the sector, the finance ministry, and other key stakeholders. The goal is we are convinced that we can have some understanding with them for additional funding that will enhance our development program, particularly on that corridor. But among the projects that are under discussion would then include the Konya to Vonjima corridor of the road, which is crucial. Crucial to the full Banga to the Tekoma link. And then they want to boost the electricity from the Pototas CLSB substation to communities along that corridor. And we've made all those requests to the delegation that is currently happening in the country that people don't pay attention to for some days of the past. But it will interest you to note that the Auditor General of the Republic has announced, and that's Auditor General Gaswa Jackson, he says the Commission has for the first time in its history as a General Auditing Commission conducted an audit of the office of the President of the Republic of Liberia. The Auditor General went on to describe that action as unprecedented. Think about that. This is a country that is almost 180 years old. This is a country that had presidents after president. And the Auditor General says this is the first time historically for the office of the President to be subjected to audit. Think about that. So presidents are powerful. They are sacking ministers and suspending ministers and doing different things to people who are said to be wanting in terms of integrity. But they themselves have been absolved from accountability. Then Waka decided, the President Waka decided that he'll be different. He said, because I'm taking action on officials within the government that have integrity issues, are also going to be guided by the same statement. So he agreed. And for the first time made the President's office to be a subject of audit. And the Auditor General made a disclosure today when the GSC launched its strategic plan. And he called that audit a milestone in strengthening public sector accountability and transparency. He noted further that the decision to audit the presidency reflects the Commission's renewed commitment to ensuring that all public institutions, regardless of status, are subject to financial scrutiny. And I think this is good. For a large campaign, and also congratulate the GSC for the progress. So take such an unprecedented action as he himself described it. The Renewable Energy Agency is building currently a hybrid power grid in Lower Road 35 megawatt hour of battery energy storage system, as well as 1.8 megawatt of diesel power plant and over 350 kilometers of low and medium voltage line to power over 10,000 homes in Vonjima in Kolahun, in Bolahun, in Masabolahun, and in Fuya, in all communities between these centers. At least 50,000 people will have access to that source of energy. The team from the agency was recently in Bofa, and the purpose of that visit was to assess the level of work that has been done. It was also meant to deploy owner's engineer to confirm the quality of work as well. They are pleased that the diesel generators are 98% ready, and are awaiting the supply of fuel to start testing. The government of Liberia provided $500,000 for the initiative, and the 350 kilometers of LV lines are also completed. They are on course to have the hybrid system turned on by the President on July 26 this year, 2026. Recently, there was public attention to a performance that took place at one of our high schools in Liberia, St. Teresa Convent High School, just right here in Central Monrovia. And the sector ministry responsible for education have issued an initial statement, and the ministry says they are aware of a video that circulated on social media showing a musical performance involving students in a school related setting. The ministry notes that the content of the performance is deemed inappropriate for minors and raises serious safeguarding concerns. The ministry says it is thoroughly verifying the circumstances on which the event occurred, including whether it was authorized, the parties responsible, and the level of supervision present. Pending the outcome of this process, the ministry is engaging the relevant school authorities and will take appropriate actions in line with the national education policies of Liberia, and further communication will be issued in due course based on their findings. The University of Liberia will launch a year-long celebration of its 75th anniversary. On February 15 of this year, the President, Dr. Mapayan, framed this milestone as a strategic moment for institutional transformation and the reflection of Liberia's own national journey, noting that the UL's origins in 1862 and its rechartering in 1951 are reflected. She noted that the UL is Liberia's flagship public university, serving nearly 30,000 students with its alumni deeply integrated into the nation's development. The anniversary's theme is From Our Foundation to Our Future, UL at 75, guided by a leadership vision of education, effectiveness, efficiency, excellence, and ethics. The kickoff of the event include multi-faith service, a parade, exhibitions, alumni activities, special concert by the UL Choral, and calling for shared national support to sustain the institute of Liberia's future. For some months, 8-9 years, the government announced that it would have procured yellow machines. The naysayers said that was impossible and that it would happen. And eventually, the machines are on their way. There are historical observations to be made. Liberia has not been lacking in building infrastructure, funding machineries, and all that we need for national development initiatives. What we have lacked is our capacity and ability to maintain them or create effective structures that can ensure the protection of national assets. The Ministry of Public Works, yes, has statutory responsibility on what the yellow machines are related to. But for the purpose of ensuring that what is being initiated will last, will endure, and will serve the purpose, the President sought to establish an independent structured goal that will work in concert with the central ministry, but I'll be fully dedicated to how to maintain those machines. In the wisdom of the government and the President in particular who provides leadership, this will ensure that the purpose for which we procure those yellow machines will be met and that the functions we expected to undertake will be undertaken. So he established the Yellow Machine Board of Authority, MOI, with former Defense Minister Brandon Samuka as the chairperson, which you already know. That establishment is done, like I said, because the machines are en route and they will be here shortly. The Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs is on the board. Public Works co-chair the board. Minister of State, by the way, chairs the board. Public Works co-chair, Minister of Finance and Development Planning member. The Ministry of National Defense is member. Agriculture member. Local government is member. The Ministry of Information is member. And the GSA are also member. So the President then constituted beyond the board the Special Presidential Project Coordinating Committee, which is the SPPCC, of which the Defense Minister is the Executive Chairperson. He will be assisted by Roger Doban, Deputy Coordinator for Administration, and St. Jerome Ladley, Deputy Coordinator for Operations. They will have other support team members who will work with them. In the thinking of the government, this will ensure that the machines will be protected. They will go for years beyond the current administration, except an irresponsible leadership comes in thereafter and squander everything. But as long as it is the current leadership, those machines will be maintained, they will do the work for which they were procured, and it will be a legacy issue as far as maintaining our road infrastructures are concerned. We expect not too long additional machineries to arrive, but purely for agricultural purposes. We'll figure out how they too will be taken care of when we place them on a Nyembua or whatever it is, that determination will be made. But these are clear indications that the current government of the country is determined to take the country where it should have been years ago, that it hasn't been because of multiple irresponsible and reckless leadership. There's a time for everything, and a time for productive and progressive leadership and stuff. So before I conclude, so that they give you a chance to ask some questions, I will do two things quickly. And the first one, you know, the ministry has time immemorial for a while being known as the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism. Then we established the Liberia National Tourism Authority, which brings the ministry back to just being Ministry of Information. When it was the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism, there were actors in the leadership who have done transition to other things and they will not be here anymore. But we believe it is an act of respect that we don't allow them to go quietly and they go even under the cover of darkness. So the last time you saw at the press conference, we bade a farewell to the former Assistant Minister for Tourism, Anthony Doba Norris, who is now one of the Deputy Director Generals at the Liberia National Tourism Authority. So today, on behalf of the ministry and as the minister, we also want to seniorly bid farewell to the former Deputy Minister for Culture and Tourism, Madam Kadiatu Comte Bohiyu, who is now the Deputy Director General for Administration at the Liberia Broadcasting System, LBS, having been appointed over the weekend by President Waka. So, Madam Former Minister, please step forward. In a working environment that is good, the one we have, all the food that there is nothing for the same manufacturer. The Nigerian come with the same family. So they will have differences. They will have differences. Sometimes they will clash. But if the focus remains on the goal of the institution, those patches will not avoid the attention away from the people. So we appreciate the fact that you manage the whole bureau here, the culture and tourism department, the two bureaus, the culture and tourism, at the head. Some people have questioned us as to why you, as the head of the country's culture program, is not the one who is taking charge of the authority. For us to even question that is to question the wisdom and authority of the president, which we can do. So I'm glad that the president still saw in you something that you can contribute to our country. It has named you to LBS and the administration. Because Mika, as it was, actually appreciate the contributions of our workers. Everybody talk about transformation, being changed. It was not done by me. It was done by the team. You are a part of that team. So thank you for your role. Thank you for your contribution. Go well. I trust that you do great to where you go. It gets more high, but high can be continued as I continue. You didn't get high when you still be up there. So I'll give you a chance to just say a few things. And then that's it. A few minutes. Not long.
Thank you so much. I would like to say thanks to our dynamic president, President Joseph Duma Boyka, for the confidence reposed in me to move on to LDS. Like I always say, I was a journalist, and it seems like it followed me everywhere I go. I started my career as a journalist, as a radio and TV broadcaster with DC 101. So then I was with the Ministry of Education as press associate to Dr. Kandakar. Then I became Director of Communications. Then before joining the United Nations Media Development Desk, the monitoring units, which I did, training for urban and rural journalists. Then moving on out of Liberia to the US, I've done many other things. But I just want to say heartfelt thanks to Minister Pierre and the team here. We've all worked together, and like he mentioned, sometimes even your kids that you have in the house, all of them can't have the same attitude. But we've coped, we've managed, we've bumped heads, and we are all the same family. I feel very nostalgic leaving LICAT, but it was good that I went to LBS because LBS and LICAT are the same family. And I want to say, Mr. Pierre is special to me because he mentored me in a way that I've had other mentors, but he mentored me in a very special way. In Africa, or probably in Liberia, when a male and a female work and get along, all the things, is an extra relationship. But we've had a very unique professional relationship, and he has grown to understand me so well that when he speaks, I listen, and I've come to trust him to tell him things that I won't tell other people. So I'm not going to say I will miss him because I will always run to him if I have a problem. So I want to say thanks to him. I brought him a special gift as well. Yes, I appreciate it. I call him Castro. He's the Castro of our time. So, thank you all so much. You know, you all being here, listening to us, watching us. And I want to also say to the LDS family, to Director Eugene Laming Fagon, I've been knowing him from the US till here. So I think this is a very great team. We all going to work together to make LBS great. We have some of the team members here. So we are all together. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Sonny. Like I said, we wish you well, and I know you will do great. Khadi's first degree was in journalism, communication, whatever it is. So she's not, all the examples you gave, she was the DC 101, it was not just about practice. It's both that practice and the academia. So I guess the appointment is ideal, and she will fit in very well. I also want to recognize the presence of the Director General for New Media and National, Deputy Director General for New Media and National Branding. And that will be another one to visit all your team when you were coming here to be paid a farewell. But DFLO want to welcome you. I think you're a great guy. When I look, reflect on all that I know about ELBC, and I know that the position you occupy did not exist. But then seeing how you've made it so visible, so seriously visible, is an indication that many of us should follow. Sometimes you find a government official to an agency and they feel that they are dead. And I can give you one example. Most of the government ministries, there was a struggle. Don't let go there, right? But when they were looking for the Minister of Information, even though I'm not sure how much that competition would have been, nobody wanted to come here. Because they always seem because some kind of terrible place, some call it desert, some call it graveyard. I remember when we were coming here, they say, let's send me over there, let me go wake up that sleeping dead guy. Still remember that now very well. So people will not want to take any position because they don't feel that place where they go and have all that they need to make the work easy. That place did not exist. I was part of a team that was constituting the LBS management team. And we said we'll create something for new media and national branding. TFLO took it. The visibility he has shown in that position is even greater than some of the offices that have existed there before it's been created. He's not a big sharp man. Look at the social media people I see LTN. The man himself all work behind, all in the field. It's not taken away by the pride of the air conditioning office and just sit down there and wait for people to be on the field. He's all over. He's going doing. He's in social media interview that you can do. I want to thank you for whatever you're doing to ELBC. Keep it up. The president needs that. The country needs that. The government needs that. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. And before you take your answer, my workers union here walked to my office and said they wanted to say something. Here at the press conference, I didn't want to deny them that, but I don't know what I want to say. I hope they will not talk too long. It should be brief, so we can interact with you. But the president is here with some of the officials. Mr. President, you have the time.
All right, thank you very much. So, from a major with the presentation, I want to do everything,
That's what it is.
all right. So, Honorable, our powerful and hard-working Minister, Honorable Jeremy Mafipia, our Deputy Minister for Public Affairs, Honorable Daniel Sano, our former Deputy Minister for Culture and Tourism, Kadiri, and Honorable Rufo and members of the press. I would like to read a statement on behalf of the entire workforce here at the Ministry of Information. I've been instructed by my people through a consultative meeting and through a general meeting that we need to issue an official appreciation statement to the entire senior management team of MICA So I would like to read it. Okay, so before I proceed, Okay, so before I proceed, I would like to recognize official leadership. I have my able Vice President, Mr. John Gifler, followed by my powerful Secretary General, Jerry Suma. No, our financial secretary, for your son. So on behalf of we have statement of appreciation to the senior management team of the Ministry of Information. On behalf of the entire workforce of the Ministry of Information, we wish to respectfully express our heartfelt appreciation and sincere gratitude to the senior management team for their commendable leadership and commitment demonstrated through their ongoing rehabilitation work within the ministry and the recent provision of 2 staff courses for employees. For many years, staff of the ministry carry out their duties under extremely challenging conditions. The poor state of the ministry building, characterized by aging infrastructure, overcrowded offices, inadequate facilities, and general filthiness, created an uncomfortable and sometimes unhealthy working environment. Despite these difficulties, employees remain committed to service delivery, guided by dedication to duty and loyalty to the ministry's mandate. The commencement and execution of the current rehabilitation work therefore mark a significant milestone in the history of the ministry. The visible improvement in cleanliness, structure, safety, and overall functionality of the building have restored dignity to the workplace and renewed a sense of pride amongst employees. These efforts clearly demonstrate management recognition of the importance of a conducive working environment in promoting efficiency, professionalism, and staff well-being. In the same spirit, the provision of 2 buses to convey employees stands as a remarkable achievement and a long-awaited relief. For many years, transportation challenges place a heavy burden on staff at the Ministry of Information, leading to delay, exhaustion, financial strain, and safety concern. The introduction of these buses has significantly eased daily community difficulties and reflect management genuine concern for the welfare of employees. Their gesture has created boosted morale and strengthened trust between staff and management. We acknowledge that these interventions require vision, persistent and prudent management of resources. The senior management team effort in addressing issues that have persisted for many years are deeply appreciated. These actions affirm that leadership is not only about administration, but about compassion, responsiveness, and the continuous improvement of working conditions. Furthermore, the rehabilitation of the ministry building enhances the public image of the institution. A clean, organized, and well-maintained environment reinforces confidence among stakeholders and members of the public, while also motivating staff to uphold high standards of conduct and service delivery. The improvements achieved so far have already begun to translate into improved productivity and teamwork. As employees, we wish to assure the senior management team that these positive developments have renewed our commitment to the ministry's vision and objectives. Staff are encouraged and motivated to reciprocate these efforts through improved performance, discipline, and dedication to duty. A supportive work environment fosters responsibility, innovation, and a shared sense of purpose. While we celebrate this achievement with gratitude, we also respectfully express our hope and expectation for continued improvement in staff welfare, in particular as we look forward to better wages and enhanced conditions of service. We trust in the wisdom and goodwill of the senior management team headed by Honorable Jerry to continue engaging relevant authority to address remuneration challenges, improve wages to further motivate employees, reduce financial pressure, and complement the positive effort of the improved working environment and transportation support. We firmly believe that fair and improved compensation alongside the ongoing infrastructural and welfare initiatives will strengthen staff morale and enhance overall institutional performance. Our hope is anchored in the confidence we have gained from the recent action of management, which demonstrates a sincere commitment to the well-being of employees. In conclusion, we once again express our deepest appreciation to the senior management team for their foresight, dedication, and leadership. The rehabilitation work and the provision of staff bosses will remain landmark achievement and a testimony to your commitment to progress and staff welfare. We pray for continued success, wisdom, and strength as you lead the ministry towards greater achievement. Please accept this statement as a humble but sincere appreciation of gratitude and hope from all loyal and appreciative workforce. So thank you.
So without wasting time, we want to, on behalf of the senior management team, appreciate your recognition. We can assure you that it will not be complacency, but they will push us to see the need to do more. If there's one government official seated in the cabinet room who is an advocate for eventually overhauling the harmonization that was done, which has created some economic constraints to not just you people having government persons in government based on their monthly earnings and their official. But I can also tell you that the government itself is committed to repressing that. It's just a matter of announcing something when you have the means to do so. The public statement with no backing of being able to do it is politics. And the politics time will come without employing whatever we're doing here. The serious government business. So we understand. One of the reasons why we even focus on getting the boss for you at all costs. When all the ministers you say, the other side is rejecting the senior government card, we purposely agree that we will not allow these officials to have cards when you, the employees, don't have cards. And I want to really commend them for buying into that kind of thing. You know, when you have a group of people, they will be making grumble and say, no, everybody will come and get card. That you need us. But they all agree. And let me tell you one of the things we did. We didn't have car here, we had only one car. So we didn't have no provision now, just to say fuel for car. There were a few instances where we didn't have fuel for ourselves. We knew the car would come. We don't want to be embarrassed. So we starved ourselves. In a food, you starve yourself. That starving assisted us to keep very safe 5,000 US$ worth of fuel. You know why we did it? Yeah. We won't be carrying on the way. Then one morning we wake up and say, oh, the body went today because no fuel. Before that $5,000 fuel can be exhausted, they will not get some more fuel. What that does is we ensure that except some unforeseen mechanical issue, your boss should be ready to take you to and from work with the fuel supply available, and the capacity to service them on time is also there. The only reason why you have not started using the bus now is because we are encouraging the president to come in, do a commissioning of the rehabilitation. Part of the commissioning would be to unveil your buses, since you have not had it in a decade or so. So you do all together, and as soon as that is done, go and keep the place that is, we're going to do the work. But like I said, I appreciate your corporate recommendation of our efforts, but we didn't do it alone. Without you putting to what we do here. So thank you too for your contribution.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With that being concluded, we will now give the media the opportunity to ask some few questions.
Please call your name and the institution you are reporting for further statement.
My name is Amina Bikena and I report for Fuel Times. question is, in the paper you talked about failure of delivery. What could be done for, let's say, we're talking about failure of drainages, and what could be done to stop people from throwing the drainages around the country?
Thank you. My name is Manuel. I have a question, but before then, let me use this time to, as you, Mr. Pia, as you receive recognition from your staff, we are, independent reporters. We are here. We are journalists. We report to the public. We want to say thank you for this place that we are. This is our office. Every time we come here, we will see different place, different innovation. Public here, part of our work in journalists, not just to report maybe the negative, but we also want to use the time to say thank you for the innovation and your quality relationship with us. So some places you don't have critical questions, but our questions are being accepted by everyone. So thank you so much. And my question is, the yellow machine is something that all Liberians are happy that enthusiastic to see. But they want to know what is the agreement surrounding this whole yellow machine issue? Which time Liberia will be? How much should be paid for the entire machine? Thank you so much.
I want to say thanks to Mr. Pia and all the Minister of here. My name is Nanu Sen, and I report on Star TV. My question was on the Minister concerning the yellow machine issue as if the President nominates Minister, then former Minister of Samuka as the chairperson for the yellow machine to spearhead. Looking at the detail of quote-unquote character of former defense minister, what level of loyalty do you think he will bring towards providing security for the yellow machine?
Thank you. Next question.
So thank you, we are from for I have a few concerns. Basically, I have a few concerns. I have a question.
We want change.
I have a question. I have a question on yourself. I have a question. You made mention about. I listened to the workers' presentation, the workers' welfare. And I'm concerned about a few months ago when we saw some aggrieved workers of the Liberia News Agency protesting some of the benefits not being received, and we are lauding the ministry of some developmental projects. I'm very concerned about the issue being mentioned or cited by those because of Liberia's news agency, which is also part of the workers here of the institution, and also a subset of the Ministry of Information. The issues being fully resolved by the Ministry of Information. Yeah.
Next question.
Good afternoon. My name is Benson Rabo. I do report for Kona Online TV and KBL. Mr. Minister, please receive my concern in good faith. And I want to know, my concern has to do with the government's continuous focus mostly on Koya district in terms of developmental initiative jumping over salary and several districts. It's said because the president is from that part of the county.
The line is thank you.
Thank you. My name is Alison Small and I report for TrueLiberia television. Mr. Minister, I'm concerned about the Armed Forces Day celebration scheduled for tomorrow. I want to know what difference does this celebration bring to Liberians compared to previous celebrations? Thank you.
I'm Samuel Johnson, a report for TrueLiberia television. Mr. Minister, in March of 2024, President Bouaka at the time unveiled and dedicated his first ever project that was a modern, well-equipped CCTV police post around the SKD Boulevard Junction area. And it was promised that 25,000 of that booth was to be brought in country for nationwide deployment. So the president is currently in his 3 years of his administration, and I'm concerned to ask how far is that project? Has the government brought in the 25,000 police booth?
My name is Winston Deegan and I report for School TV. My question is about the audit. Let me acknowledge that this is the first time in this country for us to hear that the president's office has been audited. I want to acknowledge that and I want to commend the GAC for doing that. But my question is about how or where can we find this audit report and how can it resonate with ordinary Liberians?
Thank you, Mr.
My name is Ilasi Kupuyi and I report for today's FM. I want to say thank you to the Republic of Liberia for the level of transformation that public works is bringing in terms of law. But my attention has been drawn to the committee that was established by the President of the Republic of Liberia, and he appointing former Defense Minister Ibrahim Samka to serve as a chairperson of that committee. So what level of expertise Ibrahim Samka is bringing to spearhead that committee, looking at he serving as a former Defense Minister? Thank you.
Mr. Thank you. My name is Joseph Saleh and I report for Lieutenant Governor. So, Mr. Minister, I'm all concerned. Many of these functions, we don't see former leaders like the former President George Weah. And we have a national occasion for tomorrow, which is the Armed Forces Day. And most often the former president has told public gathering when he's speaking that most of this function is not been given an official invitation to attend. What is the government response to that? Are you people giving an invitation? Are you not attending?
Thank you. Those are all the questions.
I will start with the last man and I will pay attention. Saleh?
Yes, sir.
You can ask me, you will be doing different things. That's part of the business.
Sorry, sir.
So on Saturday, there was the ordination of a new bishop in our country. You really think the church did not invite the former president? You think so?
No, they haven't.
Okay. So why didn't you go there?
And you went there Sunday?
So why didn't you go to that one?
I don't know.
All right. So every national event they have, all past government officials, including president. And you see President Selig as old as she is, she appears to all. If you don't see a past government official, then that means they won't go there. And if you ask me why he didn't go to that orientation, because you do President Baka and nobody there. I think he intentionally avoids sitting at any program with him. So he know the national he stays at it. So he opted to go to the Thanksgiving service. Obviously, he would not go to the ordination. Then Sunday they get a go to Thanksgiving. So, okay, so you will not be here at the time. But you can't very forceful to be among people you don't want to be there. And sometimes take the microphone to the right place. As the former president said, well, see the local program. What happened? They don't invite you. Maybe they want to tell you whether they invite you or not. And the churches are hearing and you're probably then you ask, but why you don't go? Because we're not seeing the health program sense, the new program. You know, you don't want me to tell you why you don't go. I ain't get high. I'm not the one who can say. One question, but I'm not sure I got the answer for that or what we can do to stop. Maybe the public work minister is listening, and also members of the joint security forces if they are listening. Maybe they all figure out what do you do to stop some of the excesses of the people that just don't make sense. There was a video circulating on Facebook one time with this lady dressed up and she walked to the it was raining, walked to the, I think it was the Sudanese freeway, and then jump on the garbage and walk away. I don't know what that represents. I don't know what can be done to stop it. Maybe the Public Works Ministry, the joint security, everybody can tell us what they can do to stop those kind of behavior. Because the village is not meant for that. And you know when you don't think in the dream will get work, and when that happens, when it rains, you got all the flooding situations that are almost taking homes away. Then the simple thing, right? Available about the flood. So I wish I had an answer on what we can do. The building of the yellow machine was announced. I said we'll come to the press conference and then we won't be attending, we'll come and ask the same thing over and over. It was announced here that the yellow machines would cost 21 million, over 21 million. And we did say we made an initial payment. Look at it, the left side of the place. I already come on my finger. So ask me, so what happened to the 5,000? How will he know? Maybe he knows. How different is the current armed forces with the other one? I don't know. Go there tomorrow and watch the program, you see what I different. All the reports, the journalists, well, that's why I say where we can find all the reports. What expertise does someone have to bring to the job? Let me see the comment who asked the question. Can you?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? You from Blaze, right?
Yeah.
Can you from Small? Can you be a Blaze reporter here?
Yeah.
What expertise you bring to the job? You have a master's degree in mass communication or ESC?
No, I can't say it.
In what? From where? But you don't really get a school? Oh, okay. Somebody who is a former minister, somebody who worked on multiple United Nations assignments across the world. You don't know what capacity you bring, what you see. Let it teach and approach. You want to squander anything, but you haven't been doing that, but try, then you see the capacity you bring. Until then, I want to see. Yeah? Somebody talked about him having tinted character. We can be so brave with our tongues to just talk loosely about people. When you put that here, when the same job we had been asked for, granted clemency to the men. All right, here. The thing you were holding him responsible for at that time were 3 persons. Were there not 3 persons that were found liable? They were. You know some of them based on the pardon that the president gave, some of them then even the son as a pardon. You didn't get a problem with it. 2, 3 persons accused of the same thing, some of them didn't give it joy. You didn't complain. That's why the media, when you go back there, it looks personal. If you have an issue with him, you should have issue with other people in the same situation where you were from the But the Constitution grants the president the authority to grant the message. So as long as you are doing the presidential things, he's a free man. And I tell you, all know that. I run the Ministry of Information. I don't run a segment of a ministry. You know, and some of you can be so revising. Every day you can't ever revise. We don't have an issue with it. In the whole history of Lina for the last 6 years to now, if there's any administration that has supported them with the bosses law, it's this administration. If they had everything according to what you said, all the country correspondents were just here yesterday. They met with them. Why they don't have money? If you're a journalist who want to be concerned, ask those questions. In the last budget, Honorable President, we have over 300,000 went there for 6 years. Multiply that by 6 years. They get recovered. They get food. They didn't even have an office to sit in. The correspondent in there, they just came to town to carry brand new food, travel, everything. Why did he have it? He's just about to get 15 money back for the full 15 of it. Why did he have it? So you have to be responsible in your interests. Ask those questions. All that money that came to the plane in the last 6 years, why are you getting a single recording? And at that time, they were not part of the ministry. They said they were autonomous. Of course, by law, they're not autonomous. They just are using the ministry. So let you stand in the office, have no dealing. Whatever project now for them, it's spending anyway, must spend. We are authorized to use that budget line to run all our communication programs. If you look in our budget, every day you come here, I show you can benefit. Every time you come after the press conference, you check, you know where it comes from. In one talk. There's nowhere in the ministry budget I have money to give you. Before Paul then run the newspaper and the magazine. What tell the budget also I mean I see no land there that say this is the money to run magazine. If I wanted to engage radio stations and I go there, I would just go there where people are about to leave. If I want to send Daniel to go visit different attacking centers, you don't go there where people are about to leave. We launch a town hall. Better you meet Adam for the town hall. When is the next town hall? Every time we have one edition of that town hall, it costs nothing less than 30,000. No money in our budget for it. So the only communication budget we have is what they claim was for dinner. It's used to serve the dinner itself. It's used to serve every other media outlet of the ministry. My responsibility and my team's responsibility is that the day auditor comes, we show that what money we're using. In your own mind, why would somebody use 300,000+ if you say that was the amount on Monday bulletin? But the press conference that is taking place 2 times a week doesn't have money. The newspaper that been printed 3 times a week doesn't have money. So you're being serious. We'll come here. They talk seriously and you'll be very drunk, or we'll be asking tons of questions. It's not fair. It's not fair to DN News or whatever they call it.